It's Wednesday, March 5th, and here's some of the news beyond the headlines. Russia's trying to woo back its former Soviet Republic Moldova, a landlocked Eastern European country that's a bit bigger than the state of Maryland. Moldova is supposed to sign an agreement with the EU in August that'll create a framework for political, trade, and security links between them. But the Kremlin's seriously trying to keep its former satellite away from Europe. Russia's making deals with a region in southern Moldova to gain popularity, like negotiating cheaper gas and promoting the import of Moldovan wine to Russians. So why does Russia care about Moldova? As Russia competes with the EU for spheres of economic influence, its former Soviet ties make Moldova an easy pick. Researchers reveal most of the Army's men and women with suicidal tendencies had them before they enlisted.
Ready, up!
About 1 in 10 soldiers qualified for a diagnosis of intermittent explosive disorder. That's more than 5 times the rate found in the general population. Psychiatrists say the baggage people bring with them, and often don't disclose in order to get into the armed services quickly, presumably interacts with the stresses of deployment to increase vulnerability to suicide. This research began 5 years ago in 2008, when the suicide rate among active soldiers rose above the civilian rate among young, healthy adults for the first time.
This area's dry, man. You know that. I know that. Ain't nobody selling but me. I got tuna. I got salmon.
You wouldn't buy your sushi from this guy. So why would you buy your marijuana from him?
That's the first medical marijuana commercial to air on major networks like Fox, CNN, ESPN, and Comedy Central. It can only air after 10 p.m., and it can't run alongside family programming. Comcast first aired it on TVs in New Jersey, and it'll air in Massachusetts next week.
Despite the difficult political challenges we're dealing with, the men and women of ISAF remain focused on one thing, and one thing only: your success in securing the historic elections of 2014, and your success in taking the fight to the enemy in the summer of 2014.
With the US and NATO set to leave Afghanistan by the end of this year, thousands of Afghan workers on ISAF bases will be out of a job and in a dangerous situation. When these ISAF bases close, it's going to be increasingly hard for these manual laborers to find jobs in a country that has 48% unemployment and is among the most aid-dependent in the world. And if the Taliban knows they've worked on a base, it'll be even more dangerous and difficult for them. Afghan-based workers face the same threats as military interpreters, such as retribution from the Taliban for working for their enemy. But unlike interpreters, they have no hope of receiving a Western visa to leave Afghanistan. Check out the VICE News YouTube channel to watch our latest original reporting and documentaries from around the world.
He's throwing cigarettes over.
Давай.
Давай. Прыгай. Давай. Опа! Давай.
So what's happening now?
We are defeating the enemy. The enemy is in runs.
How far away are the enemy from here?
They are not really trained soldiers. They are civilians.
So all these men here, what are they going to do now?
They are going to forsake the enemy.
تضرب الصرايخ نضرب الصرايخ واهلا وسهلا فيه. إذا هو سلاحنا اللي بندافع فيه عن لقمة عيشنا.
Holy shit. The car is full of rocket-propelled grenade launchers.
The standoff only ended when the state promised to provide money to the farmers for new crops. Money which never arrived.